Hello art lovers, back again for about the final segment of these instructional videos, little short videos on detailing art and painting. This segment is going to be taking some in-depth detail on placing water droplets. As you know, a lot of my paintings that I do have, I like to incorporate water. It just, to me, make my paintings, I can't speak for other artists, but it makes mine look more realistic when I apply it in different areas of my work. And it's quite simple once you learn to do it. It's pretty simple to do. What I'm doing right here, I'm doing the under shadows of the droplet, and what I've mixed is burnt umber and black, which actually is not a color, it's absence of color, underneath. And then I'm gonna come with white, very opaque. What I mean by opaque, you want to show the background of what is actually, the water is actually overlaying. And by doing that, it gives it a translucent picture of what you're doing, of the water droplet, more or less. See how I took on a shadow? And just take in mind, you can, if you don't have a picture of a water droplet or anything, there's always water somewhere around. You can take a photograph of it if you don't know how to actually draw one or paint one. But it's fun. Like I said, this painting turned out to be one that I really like. You don't have to put that much detail in doing water droplets. Some people tend to go overboard, but it's not that difficult to do it. Just take your time, have a clean brush. And like I said, just make sure your paint is not that heavy or thick, because you want the background of what you're covering to show through the droplet. Remember the transparency. Some sort. And you can let it dry and come back with more highlights on it. And always have a clean brush. If you have little floating hairs on it, whatever, it can really change the whole outcome of how that droplet looks. This is just little fine details that I like to do. And see how quick that manifests into like a droplet? Just two little strokes and there you go, you got your water droplet. And underneath, it's going to always be darker. Very easy to create. Try some on paper and pencil first to see if you can learn the dynamics of what you're doing and how to do it. Take your time. Do a little experimentation and see what happens. You want to enjoy your painting. You don't want your painting to get you all in a bundle, more or less. You want it to be relaxing for you. Remember again, this is your painting, unless you're doing it for someone else. Look at that. Only two little strokes of paint, and that's it, it's finished. You can come back later and put a little more highlights in it, but that's it, it's done. You don't have to tarry on it all day long trying to perfect the water drop. Sometime when you're in a painting and you get to a point, you say, well, I need to do something else to it, more to it. Sometimes leave it alone. Walk away from it, come back. Like what I'm doing right here, even though I'm doing this with the liner brush, and I'm gonna come back with the fan brush. I just wanted a little more highlights right up in here. The fan brush will do it. If anybody don't know what a fan brush is, this is a fan brush right here. And it mimics its name, a fan. It looks like a fan. And what I'm doing here is just putting in some more highlights. Where the light would actually be shining, so that's going to give it almost like illuminated effect right there. And I'm going to put a little more right here. Don't be afraid to experiment. If you mess up, you let it dry, and you can always come back over it. But don't be afraid. Just go for it. Do it. See how that brightened up that leaflet? And especially one right up in here. And these are oils. And just experiment and find out what you like. It would never hurt. To just endeavor in different types of art or mediums that you like. See how that brought that out a little more? You can zoom in later on. You can probably see a little more. But I'm just putting in some little light highlights right now with this painting. I'm just using straight white paint. And I'm going to take this little fan brush and fan it out. And you can sometimes do the same thing with your daggers, the dagger brush. And I'm going to conclude this video and hope to see you artists soon. Take care. Have a good weekend.